Let's go ahead and cut the lights out and put the kids to bed. The GBag Nation's going all 56 inches around the rim.
Let it rain! Rain dance!
Rain dance!
I gotta join here, man. I've been saving for a special occasion.
It's always a special occasion when Luka finally,
my goodness,
defeats the old man Clippers and now gets to look ahead in round number 2 to the Young Bucks in the division. Same neck of the woods, just up the street. It's time to go dominate these Thunder. And Jason Kidd
about driving up there
with the extension. Oh, is that right?
Idea.
Yeah.
Broadus going to make a trip into OKC land, dude?
I'm thinking I might do this. I really am thinking I might do this.
You should wear something bright. Like, they do those whiteout deals. And it looks really cool. Like, to their credit, the whiteout situation looks cool. But if you're sitting there wearing, like, one of those, like, City Edition Mavs from a couple years ago where it was like that, no. Like, something bright. Like that neon green, like, where everybody can see you. You're kind of like Marlins man sitting around out there.
Yeah.
Get some good seats and just be pointing the finger, mother bleeping everybody.
I'm seriously thinking about driving up there for one of these games.
As a media member?
No.
Oh, okay.
Going to the crowd.
If you go as a fan, let me know.
The general population, then you have to wear something obscure because everybody will be whited out in that building.
I just don't know where the Mavs tickets might be. You know what I'm saying? They might not.
Dude, okay, they're locking you out like zip code wise.
Oh yeah,
you're trying to go.
Do that.
They can't lock the team out. If you have,
if you got sources,
you got team, you got connection with the team.
All right,
you can maybe get some tickets, huh?
I think you go tomorrow. We have a short show after Rangers, no show Wednesday with the doubleheader.
Tomorrow's the day, dude.
Tomorrow could work.
I was honestly thinking when they really needed me at the end. I think this thing is going to go back and forth.
For a game 7?
Yeah, I think I'm going to. If I have to go to OKC to make sure they win a game 7, I'll be there.
Maybe give the pregame speech, locker room speech, channel that
tomorrow.
Any given Sunday Al Pacino.
No, I can't. You could. Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm going to go. I think I'm going to
take the show on the Rose Caravan, bro.
Let's do this, man. I'm down.
Because it's going to be a ruckus environment. I mean, credit to OKC and the Thunder fans. They're legit. I know that Dawson will have a forever bone to pick with them because he feels like they're his Supersonics disguised as Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
But they've carried the tradition of good fandom and loud ruckus arenas when their team is good. And their team is good. And so this is going to be an interesting challenge. What's y'all's confidence meter here? How thankful are you after watching Saturday night and I'm at a wedding trying to figure out the scores because it's game 1. It's Nuggets-Timberwolves, which is an epic series. And, of course, the Timberwolves go in there and get game 1, and they look fantastic. So I'm thankful. As weird as it is to say, you're playing the 1 seed, but I'd rather play OKC than Minnesota or Denver now.
I would too. I'd much rather be playing OKC.
We got a good draw.
And it's funny because they're going to have 2 games in to their series already before the Mavs play theirs. And we've got Mavs and Stars at the same time, which that one hurts. Luckily, I've got the dual screen set up.
Dual? You got the trifecta, bro. You got the 3-headed monster in there.
You guys are welcome to come join. Might just have to deal with the poopy diaper.
I'm probably going to have to do that.
You can.
I'm probably going to have to.
Bring the girls over.
No, that's
be us and all the girls.
We're putting the kids to bed, brother.
This is perfect. Sesh. They're well rested. I feel very confident about the Mavs, and maybe I'm going to end up eating crow on this one, but I just don't like the Thunder's play style. I think it's going to be easy for the Mavs to frustrate their offense.
Well, and I liked the P.J. Washington matchup on Victor Wembanyama. You can do that with Chet Holmgren. I think Lively did a good job with Holmgren as well during the regular season. So I think Mavs in 6. I think they take care of it in 6 games again.
I agree.
I 6.
I do appreciate that.
But I think it might be. But take that back. I think I'm going to have to go to OKC for a game 7.
You're kind of hoping for game 7 a little bit?
No, I'm not hoping for any game 7.
You're just prepared to will your team to victory if necessary.
If I have to be there, I will be there for a game 7.
817 does want to know, would you leave early, though?
Would I leave early from the show?
Yeah, would you leave the game early?
If they're down double digits in the 4th quarter.
Oh, that's a good point. No, I
like
learned
if they're trailing.
No, I'll stay. I'll stay.
I believe it.
I would just say by any means necessary. Let's not get selfish about this.
Reggie,
just because I got to stay in the building, I stay the whole time.
Reggie and I were at a game when the Rockets were up like 30, and Dallas came back and won. So basketball, no, you need to hang around.
Heck, the Clippers game they almost did.
Yeah, exactly.
I am really, really glad that
person's just jealous I get to go to games.
It's quite the flex.
That is very flex.
I think you're looking at insiders.
I think you're looking at next Wednesday.
Okay.
For game 5.
Okay.
And then Saturday for game 6. That would be the following Monday. So like 2 weeks from tonight would be game 7.
So I'd be in OKC for game 7. I could do that.
I think it's hugely important.
If it's a game 7.
If. Is it hell?
If it looks like we could clinch and game 6 would be at home here, of course.
Maybe 5. What if they're up 3-1? Game
if they're
5's
up
a clincher.
3-1 and I need to be there for a clincher game, because we were gonna be there for that Arizona Texas one.
Run it back for OKC.
Yep, we're gonna do that.
We'll check your schedule in the break.
I'm going.
Oh, you shut up! I watch more basketball than you.
I think it's very important that the Mavericks are able to close out that series on Friday night and get a few days of extra rest here. I mean, the Thunder, they're young, they're spry, they're energetic, they're going to be rested.
No, it's going to full tilt probably.
They're about to get hit in the face.
Not having to play another 48 minutes for Luka and things and being able to that was very, very important.
Gives you a chance to steal game 1.
Yeah, definitely. And the Thunder have been able to capitalize on being a very healthy team this year. That's been one of the reasons why they were able to secure the 1 seed in the West. Like, are they really actually the 1 seed? I think it's fair to question, but you had a lot of teams dealing with injuries, the Mavs included. And even in the 4 game, like they just beat the Pelicans with no Zion. And they mopped the floor with them, to their credit, outside of game 1. But beating the Pelicans without Zion, that's not a real playoff test. Like this is going to be kind of an eye-opening moment, I would imagine, for these guys, because the Mavs are coming in ready to rock and roll. And in the 4 games against the Mavericks this year, they only played 1 game against what would be considered a remotely healthy Mavericks team. And even in that game, there was no Derek Lively, there was no Dante Exum. And honestly, there might not be any Dante Exum in this series based on the way he played in round 1. But the Mavs beat the brakes off him. That was the 146-111 victory. So hopefully Luka is a healthy version of himself. Getting the extra days off, I think, is very important. THJ is going to be physically able. So
they're going to miss Maxey.
They're going to miss Maxey huge. There's no doubt. You can't really replace the versatility on both ends of the court and the way he was shooting the basketball ever since Brada saw him in the pregame a few games ago in round 1. It was like, oh man, this guy is knocking him down, and that's exactly what he's been doing. So pressure's on for some of these role players. Like you're confident in what you're going to get by and large from Luka and Kyrie, but who's going to be able to knock down some shots is going to be very, very important. And I saw a stat. We're going to have Nick.
The Mavs have not gone well in the playoffs unless Kleba's going well. This is a potentially trajectory-changing injury that I'm concerned with, Chief. I cannot wait to see how this series gets underway and how they're going to be able to match up.
Well, we got to talk with Bobby Carella yesterday. I was with Will doing BetQL, and Bobby did say, among all the different lineups that Jason Kidd's putting out there, and he was testing out, the one consistent piece amongst all the bigs was Maxey.
Yeah.
Like Maxey fits into every single lineup that Jason Kidd wants to utilize. So it's definitely something as a chess piece, they're going to miss him.
Yeah, I'm glad it didn't happen in the middle of the series where you're trying to, in a day, figure out what the plan is. Like you've had a fair amount of time now to try and consider all your options, and it'll be a little guess and check for sure, see who's working. But I did see this from Nick Angstadt, Locked On Mavs, who will join us at 6 o'clock today. Oklahoma City allowed opponents to shoot 13% of their shots from the corner 3 in the regular season. That's the best shot in basketball. And that was 30th, the highest percentage allowed in the NBA. So they're going to give you the best possible shot other than Luka getting a good look or Kyrie, any role player taking a corner 3, an open look, and that's what Maxey was knocking down. And so you're going to have that shot, and whoever can be the guy or guys knocking it down, you're going to get your opportunities. That's going to be huge. So maybe Dante Exum can get going here, but Derek Jones Jr. going to need that 3-ball working.
Yeah,
and PJ Washington, and then we'll see, Tim Hardaway Jr. Can't totally get your hopes up, but can you get 1 or 2 vintage shooting nights out of THJ?
Absolutely.
That would be very much welcomed. There's no question about that. And their head coach of the year, Oklahoma City Thunder coach Mark Daigneault, hope I said that correctly, one of the weirdest names, Daigneault maybe, on preparing to defend Luka, he says, just make sure Lou Dort is on time for the game.
Oh yes.
Yeah, they
Dort's
like
a menace.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, you talk about strong, fast, long players. We just saw one with the Clippers, and it's going to be, another one of those where I do expect a couple of games where you have frustrated Luka, and it's a huge test for him, especially considering how last series went. Can you take that step and become a little bit more unflappable this time through?
ESPN and Kevin Pelton went inside each series here to preview them in round 2 of the NBA playoffs, and they're doing like your strength and your weakness. And for Oklahoma City, it was elite balance. That's their strength because it's top 5 offense, top 5 defense. And, obviously Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's the man, but he's not their only scoring threat. Like Jalen Williams is one of the league's best shooters when it comes to clutch time, so that'll be something to monitor. Like Jalen Williams, Kyrie Irving in clutch time going back and forth will be probably a fun show, but he's one of the better NBA ISO players as well. Chet Holmgren, you know what he can do, kind of a catch-22. He can pressure you at the rim, also can hit you from three. So, and then they're second in the NBA when it comes to deflections and loose balls, and they're just very active defensively.
And they're still being long. My gosh,
yes,
they're a pain in the butt.
Yes, but they don't have the brute strength. So like Gafford and the physicality inside, I think will be important. You saw how much Zubac was able to affect the Mavericks with his size. The size of the Thunder is it doesn't equate that way. It's just length for the most part. Their weakness is the rebounding. So they're betting offensively that they're going to be consistent enough to overcome the issue, but it doesn't change the fact that one of their biggest weaknesses is just lack of experience, but more so just the rebounding. Tied for third worst in the league in rebound rate, fourth worst in defensive rebounding rate. So this is going to present a pretty big challenge for them, for the Mavericks and any other team if they get past the Mavericks going up against the Timberwolves or the Nuggets. Will be it'll be tough.
Very hard to win a championship like that. You're giving up second chances because what happens? A lot of these games are tight. And in the final minute, if you already are having a hard time rebounding, if the opposing team needs this offensive rebound to stay alive in the game, they send everybody. And now you're in a 50-50 mad scramble for the ball. But, that's right. It's not 50-50 because you're a bad rebounding team.
Yeah.
And it becomes very difficult to get stops when you're trying to hold a 1 or 2 possession lead late in these playoff games. So I love that. And that should hopefully give Gafford a heck of an opportunity to impact the game in a big way.
No doubt. Big advantage, Gafford Lively there, no question. And we saw in the games the Mavericks struggled against the Clippers. It was the second chance opportunities with what Zubac was able to do inside. And you're not going to hopefully not have that issue with OKC.
Mavericks' strength is the isolation offense. Obviously, between Luka and Kyrie, you're talking about the best in the game when it comes to just going one-on-one and generating scoring opportunities for the offense. So that is the Mavericks' big strength.
How about playoff experience?
Yeah,
I would say.
I mean, when you start talking about Luka and then Kyrie, my gosh, I mean, who can match what those guys have been through?
I mean, there's definitely been a changing of the guard when it comes to the old and the young, because right now there's only 6 starters that remain in the NBA playoffs older than 30 years old. Kyrie obviously being one of them.
Yeah.
If you guys got the balls to throw other names out there and make a guess on who the other players are, but for the most part, you're talking about young dudes across the board. And Kyrie lent voice to that after the game the other night. He's like, "Hey, I'm the veteran here, and so I'm taking this on myself to be the man and show everybody how this is done a little bit."
I mean, there's one MVP left in the entire playoffs. Like, no other player's got an MVP other than Jokic. There's no Steph Curry. There's no LeBron. Like, Tatum doesn't have one. It's a massive changing of the guard right now.
It's a lot of fun to watch some of these teams, and salute to Minnesota going up 1-0, and the comps of Edwards and Jordan. Just so much fun right now.
Yeah, you get 106-99 game 1 victory for the Timberwolves over the Nuggets, and it's Anthony Edwards just being ridiculous, 43 points, doing it efficiently. Second player 22 years old or younger to score 40-plus in back-to-back playoff games. So he joins Kobe Bryant in that particular lore. But yeah, he's playing his rear end off right now. The weakness for the Mavericks, they say, is the free throw shooting outside of Luka and Kyrie. So
that's true.
And that's something that you kind of forget about a little bit, but then all of a sudden that could be vitally important. Yeah. I mean, the key rotation players that they point out: PJ Washington, Derek Jones, Derek Lively, and Daniel Gafford, all well below the league average of 78.5%. And as a whole, the team ranked 27th in the NBA in free throw percentage. So that is just something that you don't want to see come bite you in a game or a series for sure.
No, it got you in game 4 in a big way. Along with turnovers, that comeback that was on and would have been completed, I felt like, if they'd either made their free throws or stopped turning it over so much.